I'm back from Coachella. Sorry, that was so obnoxious, but I couldn't resist. Hey y'all, it's me, Bussy, and welcome back to Hot or Hot. And today we'll be reviewing the finale of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 16. A week late, $1 short, and missing 2 or 3 brain cells, aka business as usual on this channel. But on a real note, this finale was phenomenal, and we've got so much to break down, including a quick hot or rot speed round of the entire cast of season 16 on their final runway, a solo performance from each of our top 3 finalists, the crowning of our new Miss Congenialities, and of course the final 2 lip sync for the crown, the title of America's Next Drag Superstar, and $200,000. So in the order they hit the runway, and first up, it's still chocolate, Hershii LiqCour-Jete, who's giving us some regal blue pageantry perfection in this gown. She looks absolutely stunning, definitely the best I think she's ever looked on this show. And this gown is just so right, the way it's hugging her body perfectly, creating that beautiful silhouette around the collar. And the absolute highlight of this look for me is the way she has stoned the curls in that wig with those blue crystals. This is a beautifully sweet note for Hershii to end on, and this look is absolutely hot. Next up, it's almost like she was never there. Mirage, who's giving us a very sultry yet modest in her own way type of look this evening, complete with, of course, her clear acrylic de-rober heels. And I was actually a little disappointed when she hit the end of the runway and didn't start clacking those heels, but she did look absolutely gorgeous. I love that deep slit in this dress, showing off those super long legs, and that hair is absolutely phenomenal. She's giving showgirl, she's giving Vegas, and this look is absolutely hot. And next up, I hope you're clocked in, because it's time for a mandatory meeting, who I think hit the runway tonight with something to prove in reclaiming the color purple, which I have to think is referencing or paying homage in a way to that original purple and green alien look that she wore on her first or second episode. I love this gown, has kind of an 80s flair with those poof sleeves and how they're contrasted with those geometric lines throughout this gown. This look is very business meeting at 5, intergalactic prom at 7, and I love it. This is that little purple alien girl all grown up, and she looks absolutely hot. But this, of course, would not be a complete review of the finale of season 16 without one final mention of the mandatory meeting in Plain Jane feud, which was briefly acknowledged on Twitter after the finale aired this week. Iman's updated her ex profile picture in a post with this screenshot of her reacting to a moment where Plain Jane is on the screen, and a user on the platform responded to her post writing, "I need to know what you were thinking and if this was actually the face you made when she did that." To which Amanda replies, "It was either that or when her mom told Ru how she overcame severe bullying. I love irony." And regarding some of her less than well-received runways, she did impart this wisdom onto the future applicants of RuPaul's Drag Race. "My advice to anyone getting ready for season 17 is make sure everyone who works on your package sign an NDA and a contract that specifically outlines ramifications for them if they don't finish your in time for filming. Hopefully you won't show up with 5 incomplete runways like I did." Next up, boom, boom. It's Geneva Karr, who comes out on the runway in her best Formula 1 racing gown. And immediately I can see exactly what she's going for with those iconic racer check flags in the lining of that really cool train that she's got built into this gown. But where she started to lose me was that Hoochie Mama cut of the front part of this gown, immediately going to the thigh and then the thigh-high boot, combined with these like cagey deconstructed neck and hip pieces, which felt unnecessary to this look, and kind of like she was both going for a very constructed and deconstructed thing at the same time that I'm not sure totally worked. So I'm overall gonna give this look a And next up, it's Mommy Megami, who's hitting the runway one last time in this really interesting combination of brown geometric patterned gown with a black pearl necklace and cape. And obviously I will say, as always, the hair and makeup really are on point with her. That's never an issue for me. And I like this kind of demonic, spooky energy that she's going for with the horns and the wig and such. But I wish there was some of that black or darkness in the actual gown to bring a little more cohesion to the look from head to toe. Plus the shoes really stand out here and don't make any sense with the rest of the look. Like, why is the wig giving me Maleficent? The shoes are giving me Cinderella. So I'm gonna give this look a And next up, lights, camera, fashion. It's Xunami Muse, who, I'll be honest, really gagged me a little bit for sure. Yes, mama, props to you, mama. Yes, God. She is stunning, breathtaking, jaw-dropping. I love this gown. It's like almost an impressionist painting, kind of giving me like Starry Night vibes, but multicolored, I think floral petals is what they really are. Maybe with some feathers and paisley mixed in through those. Overall, she looks absolutely stunning. This look is hot. And next up, she's a star. It's Plasma. And she's got the entire Hollywood Walk of Fame stars adorning her dress to prove that she is a star. And this look from Plasma tonight was one of those moments for me where like, yes, less is more. I loved all that soft rouging and that beautiful beige or light cream tulle that is just absolutely looking gorgeous on her with that soft gold hair too. She looks absolutely hot. The only notes I would give this look are like proportion related, because she is one of those queens with makeups that have those huge proportions. I would have liked to have seen an even bigger hair on this, something just to round out that head shape a little bit more. And next up, Mhi'ya. It's Mhi'ya Iman LePaige, our queen of flips and queen of blinding the cameras tonight with this insanely beautiful and crazily reflective gown. She looks like the drag queen embodiment of a disco ball walking down that runway, and she has never looked better. And the way she has left no particle of light in that room unreflected, that's a Gagatronda right there. But for real, she looks great, and the proportions in this gown are also just done so correctly. This is Mhi'ya turned into fully crystallized glamazon bitch ready for the runway. This look is hot. Next up, wake up, it's Dawn. Who is wearing this? I don't even know what to, like, how do you describe this? It's giving me like intergalactic Hunger Games host from the planet Elves and Dwarves, but like the queen of the fairy elves and dwarves over there, she looks incredible. But I love how that wig turns into an explosion of pearls and feathers and ears, which she described writing on an Instagram post as a full fairy fountain on my head. Missing ears replaced with grand pink feathers. I couldn't be happier with how this came together. And really, what a treat this is from Dawn. This look is absolutely hot. And next up, give me one shot of Morphine Love Dion, who's looking absolutely gorgeous and $50,000 richer with the title of She Done Already Had Herses. And let me just say, the bitch looks good. America, facts are facts. The bitch looks good. And I also just want to quickly give a little round of applause for the mug, the Muggiana that Morphine served this entire season. And tonight's no exception. The gown is also gorgeous, but maybe not my favorite on the runway tonight. And I have to think that is largely the way I'm reacting, because 2 runways ago, we just saw Mhi'ya Iman LePaige in a very similar, extremely reflective silver pageantry gown. Regardless though, I do think this look is hot. What I would do to improve it is maybe proportionize with a bigger hair and doing something for a little more cohesion in the look, like adding some silver stoning details or something just to really tie everything together. Next up, just the letter Q. And the first thing I notice is how distinctly Q this look truly is, which we can see in style cues like that belted train that she has coming off the back of this look with the giant waist, which is similar to that belted cape train that she made for like the neo-goth runway, and those giant sleeves on this gown being so similar to style elements that she used in things like even her entrance look. And interestingly, the hair too feels very cute despite her really not having worn that many wigs throughout the entire season. Because it is, yes, a absolutely gorgeous wig, but it's also sculpted in such a way that it looks like her crazy headpieces. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, this look is H-O-T. And first up from our 3 finalists tonight, it's the Queen of Bananas, the Queen of Yellow, the Queen of Wind, Nymphia Wind, who in her finale Eleganza extravaganza runway is of course giving a banana reveal costume. Who would have guessed it? She is sitting right at the intersection of fashion, camp, and drag excellence in this look. And I absolutely love the detail of when those banana peel pieces came down, we got to see the inside was also stoned, really giving the look a complete head-to-toe, cohesive, gorgeous Eleganza. And I've got to say, Nymphia's banana obsession, we'll call it, is easily one of the best ways I've ever seen a queen implement a branding concept into their drag race package like ever. Because the banana thing is so in your face and crazy that you remember it, and you really would think that doing something as crazy and bold as a banana would get really tiresome throughout all these episodes and all these banana looks, but it never did, at least for me. And I think that's because each time she re-implemented the banana concept into her drag, she found a new and interesting way that we hadn't seen her bring those bananas in before. And so it became less of a like, oh, there's a banana again, and more of a, ooh, I wonder how the bananas are gonna come in this time. Me browsing through Grindr. This banana was deliciously ripe and totally and her performance is to a number called Queen of Wind. And in saying that, I'm realizing another reason her banana thing worked out so well was because she didn't just have bananas, she also had the color yellow. She also had this tongue-in-cheek reference to wind at the end of her name, which was both funny hee hee ha ha wind and also the wind beneath her arms, which literally empowered her metaphorically and made her powerful in this number. And this top 3 performance from Nymphia combines all of the best elements and parts of her drag into one succinct little number that was both beautiful and moving and exciting. Like, she's in this really awesome, intricately designed dragon kind of costume with bananas on the front, of course. It gets ripped off by all the pit crew members, revealing her pop girly bodysuit era look, which ends a tons of gorgeous choreo from her and the group, and ultimately the entire pit crew carrying her on their shoulders. Also, you got this beautiful cape in the wind behind her. This number felt like a beautiful journey through Nymphia Wind's drag and experience as a person, and that's why I think it was all so successful. This was absolutely hot. And next up, everyone's favorite beautiful Balkan war survivor, Plain Jane, who in her final runway is giving us glamour, elegance, regality in this all red gorgeous look. The sequining applique and tulle, all in those beautiful red shades, are very much paying homage to her Russian heritage and ballerina dance art form that is so important in that culture. And we saw Plain Jane act an absolute fool this entire season and show up on the runway in a countless number of bodysuits, but seeing this, I think, raw, beautiful form of Plain Jane here, fully crystallized and ready for the runway, is really special, and I'm taking it in and really just admiring how great she truly looks. This look is hot. And as I mentioned, Plain Jane did wear a lot of bodysuits, decorated nicely bodysuits throughout this season, and in fact wore so many that the number she performs for her top 3 finalist performance is called bodysuit. But I'm gonna be 100% honest, I did not connect the dots between all of her TNA bodysuit looks and the title of this song being bodysuit until I was writing this review. Like, my dumbass was literally watching the finale being like, why is she doing a song about bodysuit? It doesn't make any sense. And then later it clicked. Guess I'm just quirky, you know, not like the other girls. Anyways, dots connected or not, this track felt like intentional sabotage. It was bad. It was bad. And I do want to separate like the actual track bodysuit, which I am saying was bad and very one note, lacking peaks and valleys, from the performance that Plain Jane gave, which I thought was good, really doing the best she could. It's just that the entire thing was bodysuit this, bodysuit that, bodysuit, bodysuit. And there was just, I think, a lot more I think that they could have referenced or talked about. And I'm not exactly sure how much influence the top 3 finalists actually have over the creation of their tracks. Whether it involved the queens or not, this was definitely a especially in comparison to the peaks and valleys and depth of performance showcased in both Nymphia and Sapphira's, which we'll see here in just a second. And last but not least, we got Sapphira Cristal, who hits the runway in an Amazon warrior queen of the Amazon warrior queen look. It's time for bed. And what I like about this look is the play of all the hard versus soft, specifically in those armor pieces, like in the bodice and those beautiful soft ruffles in the bottom part of this gown. Of course, in her signature blue sapphire color. Which is to say, I do like all of the pieces in this look and how those ones I mentioned are coming together nicely. But there is one item on this look that really sticks out to me. And it's that chest piece she's wearing, which segments her body and look in a very strange way. And then she's just got these little soup cans coming right out of her chest. And I'm like, what are those doing there? And what are they being held up by? The little blue strip of fabric is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. And it's so ridiculous in camp that I kind of love it. But in a more serious review of this look, I've got to say, something is not looking totally right here. And so this is a tough critique for me because does she look good? Yes, I think she looks gorgeous and powerful. But at the same time, the details are a little distracting for me. So I'm gonna give this a warming up. Her performance though was absolutely incredible and came in 3 easily identifiable acts, beginning with this operatic moment where she's on a platform with this gown coming down so you can't see that she's on a platform and she looks like 12 feet tall. She's lip syncing opera. It's stunning and also such a great thing to do for her in this number because it's a callback to her opera singing talent show. Then we get into act 2, which is a bunch of choreo from her with the pit crew group as well, in a look that's kind of reminiscent of that majorette costume she wore earlier this season, and she nailed absolutely every single move and point in this choreo. She looked phenomenal in that performance, and the performance of what she's doing is so incredible that you almost miss she is singing about her slew foot, which kind of turns this middle part of what she's doing into like an empowerment moment. And then it all ends with the slew foot breakdown where she amps up the dancing even further and then ends in a split. She absolutely nailed this. She gave us peaks, she gave us valleys, we laughed, we cried, we cheered, and most importantly, remembered why we love Sapphira Cristal. This performance was hot. Even if this was another bit of a rocky moment for her in terms of looks in the finale. And so we see our top three give their solo top three finalist performances, and RuPaul decides of the three that only Sapphira Cristal and Nymphia Wind will be moving forward. A decision that, based on these performances, I wholeheartedly agree with. And so much so that, let's enter the conspiracy corner for just 1 second. I've got to say, it's almost like Nymphia and Sapphira's performances were carefully crafted to be so much better than Plain's that nobody would have any choice but to agree with RuPaul that those were going to be the top two. But that's just a theory, a drag theory. R.I.P. Matt Pat. Wait, did he die? Something happened to him. He didn't die, he's just semi-retired. That's what Google says. Not me sending the other YouTubers into an early grave. Sorry, Matt Pat. Anyways, Plain is not allowed to continue, but she does receive a cash tip of $25,000. And of course, an eternally stinky, greasy burger finger. And to Plain, I say, Mama, kudos for going on RuPaul's Drag Race, for competing. But before we talk about that final lip sync, we've also got the Sasha Colby segment where she reveals one of the most beautiful crowning or passing the crown down looks ever. Like that bra chandelier thing, next level. Plus, we've got Miss Congeniality presented by Malaysia Baby Doll Fox, who reveals in the gag of the season that we are not gonna have just one Miss Congeniality, but two. Because why have just one Miss Congeniality when you could have two? And apparently in a split down the middle vote, the queens voted for both Xunami, Muse, and Sapphira Cristal, who both get the title of Miss Congeniality and a cash prize of $10,000 apiece. And this was particularly special, I'll point out, for Sapphira to win Miss Congeniality, because I believe this was the first time we saw a top 3 or 4 finalists also win a Miss Congeniality title since Nina Flowers. And since it hadn't happened since literally season 1 of RuPaul's Drag Race, I kind of thought that it was impossible for this to happen. But with drag, I suppose anything's possible. So a round of applause and congratulations to Sasha on that amazing look, Malaysia on her amazing Miss Congeniality passing down the title look, and both Xunami and Sapphira for their new titles. And finally, and a top 2 lip sync for the crown, the title of America's Next Drag Superstar, and a cash prize of $200,000, we've got Sapphira Cristal and Nymphia Wind lip syncing to Padum Padum by Kylie Minogue. And let me firstly say, I did react to this lip sync as well as the best parts of this finale over on my Patreon, and you can watch that reaction plus get access to other exclusive content like hearing me talk about my experience at Coachella over at patreon.com/BussyQueen. See you there. My thoughts on this lip sync were that I really didn't want it to end. Both queens were absolutely killing it, and it was kind of just in the tiny details of their executions and approaches in this lip sync that did ultimately make the call for me for Nymphia to win easy. Overall, Sapphira's costume was a little confusing in this lip sync for me because she's very much starting out this lip sync as a vampire queen, I guess, with this very 18th century beehive hair and very visible fangs in her mouth. And pieces of this really gorgeous gown come off to reveal a more danceable version, and then that big giant wig comes off to reveal a ponytail, and all of her choreo and everything was absolutely phenomenal throughout this entire lip sync. But I guess I was just like looking for some reason or connection to that vampire thing in the storyline of her lip sync. Like I thought maybe at the end there would be some blood or a body part that would come off or out of somewhere. And again, I thought Sapphira did good in this, but this was 100% Nymphia's time to shine. Like she not only defeated that shy inner saboteur, but obliterated the remnants of the body and then threw the ashes around the stage that she was dancing on in this lip sync. I also thought that she didn't try to do too much in this lip sync. It started off with some outfit reveals and some really crazy helium balloon moments that like float off into the stage, which I think was a first for Drag Race. And there's all a great nod to her fashion and artistry throughout the competition, but then tears all that off and just gives us a pure pop girly performance like the best of them. Actually better than the best of them. This is a very obvious win for me, and I couldn't be more proud, happy, and excited for Nymphia to carry the crown of RuPaul's Drag Race America's Next Drag Superstar. Like she 1000% times over deserved that crown throughout this episode so many different times, showcasing all the amazingness of her drag, but also time and time again throughout this season, every time she either won a challenge or exceeded our expectations on the runway again and again and again. And if you didn't catch it, this was her reaction to being crowned, and oh my god, what an incredible crowning look she's in. That sculpted armor crazy banana thing, of course, banana thing she's wearing is beautiful. And this is all extremely validating for Nymphia, I'm sure, because she not only has the support of Rupaul and the rest of the judges telling her that she won the season, but she had so much fan momentum behind her. Just looking back at the Team Nymphia, Team Plane, Team Sapphira posts I did on Instagram, Nymphia has like 185,000 likes on hers, while the other top two finalists have about 100,000 each. And even though I know she is feeling love from all sides, I want to extend her tons of love and congratulations from my channel as well. In some final thoughts though, I do have a question for you. What did you think of them reusing the main stage of RuPaul's Drag Race, but remodeled and refreshed for both the Lollapalooza and this finale? Because I could probably argue pros and cons of both. On one hand, I kind of missed the grandness and height of the stages that we've seen in finales past. Plus, I think we were missing a bit of audience interaction and reactions in a lot of these camera shots because the actual in-theater audience was so much smaller than normal. On the other hand, though, I could totally see how from a production standpoint, keeping everything in-house allows them to do a lot more. Plus, maybe theoretically, since they saved money by using the same main stage elements, they were able to pay out more cash prizes? I don't know if that's how that math worked out, but both of those things did happen. Of course, though, let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments below. And finally, for hottest hots. On the runway, I'm gonna give it to Nymphia Wind. And in the top 3 finalist performance, I'm gonna give it to Sapphira Cristal. I also asked my patrons to vote on their hottest hots, and on the runway, they've chosen Nymphia Wind. And in the top 3 performance, Sapphira Cristal. And lastly, I wanna say thank you so much for watching this video and tuning into my channel throughout all of my hot or rots of season 16. The Bussy Queen channel truly would not be possible without you or all of my lovely, loyal, supporting patrons who help keep me financially stable every single month at patreon.com/bussyqueen. Because Rue the Bus is still running, but only because of my patrons. And I want to give an extra special shout out to Ashley Brungart, Felicia, Laura, Matthew Burns, Stephen Topher, and Will and Tana, who are all supporting me at the Bussy Queen Collector tier at patreon.com/bussyqueen. Love y'all, bye.